Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today we have a very, very, very special guest, a young man that has a lightning bolt for a right-handed reliever pitcher in the Dodgers organization, Alex Makarewich. And damn it, it's Makarewich, not Makarewich, and I'm not letting anybody talk me out of that from now on. Thanks for joining, Alex.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good to see you, Casey. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you too, man. Hey, what a great season. It kind of went back and forth between happy for you and proud of you, because I know there's, you got the big right arm, but then there's the execution piece you worked on all year. So just kind of sum up your season.
Sure. Yeah. Started in low A, started really well, really hot. Was pounding the zone, throwing really good stuff. So got promoted to high A pretty quick, and took my licks a little bit once I got there. Definitely had a little bit of a learning curve, but between me and Coin and España and all the other guys that I was around, we kind of figured out what I needed, what routine worked for me, and from there, I feel like we finished the season really, really well. And so yeah, I think it was definitely a lot of learning, but I think it was a huge year of growth.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Coin, and it seemed like it was more about, instead of focusing on what am I not doing that's leading to failure, it seemed like let's focus on what you are doing that leads to success. Would it be as simple as that, maybe?
Yeah. It for me, it's very much like, okay, how can we put ourselves in the best position possible to find success? Because it doesn't take a lot. And that's not to say that it's easy, but it is pretty simple, where it's like, okay, we're gonna hammer this routine every single day. We're gonna get off the mound and we're gonna do this and throw to the 9 pocket, and when we get in game, we're gonna start the fastball low and away, and we're gonna let it ride up and in. We're just gonna put ourselves in the best possible position where the majority of the time things are gonna go the way I would like them to go, as long as I execute our plan.
Can you explain the 9 pocket? I've had a bunch of questions on that.
Yeah. So it was something that me and Coin kind of came up with. I think right around the middle of July, things had been kind of hot and cold for me. One day it was good, one day it was not.
Yeah.
And normally we throw our delivery drills as relievers. We throw our delivery drills after catch before the game, and so a lot of time we have a great bullpen catcher, Ezra. We're blessed to have him this year in Great Lakes. So he would go sit down there and we'd throw to him, and so that was always my thing. But when I sat down and talked to Coin and España about it, it was kind of the main goal of the 9 pocket was that it's objective. It doesn't lie. So if I miss, I'm going to miss it, and it's going to roll down all the way to the plate. It's going to roll in front of the dugout, and it's kind of embarrassing. And that was kind of one of the big things for me was being able to feel that and use that as a motivator to be like, yo, listen, I'm going to pound this thing into the 9 pocket. I'm going to pound it into the zone. It was something that was super helpful for me. It's funny enough, Dominguez, or I call him España, he was our other pitching coach this year. He was a young guy, and he would stand there and laugh at me when I would miss. I'd get mad, and he's laughing. He's like, I want you to feel embarrassed. I want you to feel crappy, when you miss. That's what we want. And but yeah, it was a huge benefit for me. So. Yeah.
Feeling your misses is as big as feeling your makes, because then you don't have to have a coach or anybody else tell you, hey, do this, do that. You can self-correct yourself, right?
For sure, yeah. And also using the 9 pocket visually, it helped me.
So physically, where is the 9 pocket at then?
We're putting it right behind the plate.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty standard, but visually it helped me a lot to be like, okay, when I want the fastball to finish here, when I want it to cross the plate here, I need to make sure I start it here. So for me, that spot was bottom left corner, low and away to a righty. Yes. So it's I'm going to start the fastball there every single time, and I have I'm pretty confident that most of the time I'm going to be able to just put it in the box as long as I do what I need to do there. And it's the same with the curveball and the slider. Same thing. Just being able to get out there every day, get off the mound, to kind of pound that and be objective. And we would measure it, we would track it, we would keep track of, all right, I went 3 for 5 today on sliders. And then we'd play with different routines, whether it was all right, we're in zone pretty good, let's mess with 2 strike pitches, or trying to put it into quadrants or whatever. So it offers you a lot of freedom, but also a lot of structure.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. So, kind of a new school, old school versus deal. We've always heard our whole life, location, 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 throw to spots, to hit your spot, that kind of deal. And nowadays you kind of hear more about starting points, tunnel points, and let your starting points and tunnel points take the ball to a specific spot versus actually trying to throw it to a spot. So where are you at in that?
100%. Yeah. That's the biggest thing I would argue that I learned this year. For me, it's really big. I always thought I was like all right, I'm going to throw it to this spot guy.
It's hard to do.
But as soon as, and as soon as Coin introduced me to like, yo, like when you start the fastball here, it'll finish here, but like it is in zone 25% more often than if you started trying to throw, like if I was trying to throw a fastball middle in. So
it frees your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, like I just got to rip it that way, and I have faith that it's going to come back and do what it needs to do. So yeah, it's definitely much easier than what I was trying to do. So it was a big learning lesson for me.
Okay, the big fastball, we saw the 0 this year, didn't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Take us through that. So who hit it first, you or Cam Day?
I don't know. Cam Day was lighting it up, man.
He was, wasn't he?
Something else, dude. Yeah, he moved to the bullpen, and my God, we were so happy to have him, dude. He's so much fun. He's so talented, man. Yeah. But I don't know. So I actually hit it in spring training. I had an outing where I went out and sat like 99, 100, and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
were there any major leaguers there to see it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh man, like Clayton Kershaw wasn't like, damn, this dude just hit 100.
No, we're just on the backfields, but no. So I did that, and then all throughout the season, I just couldn't pull it off. I couldn't make it happen, and then eventually in August, I think it was in
8th.
Wisconsin maybe or something. But yeah. So it was awesome. I mean, that's something that, especially for me, I've always been like, dude, I want to throw 100. So for that to happen, it was a really cool moment. It was a good point of being like, wow, look how far I've come, and still obviously I've got a ways that I want to go before this thing's all said and done. But yeah, it was super cool.
Amount of text messages the night you hit 100.
Probably a few. I mean, all my buddies from home and my parents and my brother. Yeah. So a good number.
Yeah. So Natchitoches, right? Not Nacogdoches.
Natchitoches, yes, sir.
So your last name is Makarewich, not Makarewich, and you went to college at Natchitoches and not Nacogdoches. How many times has any one person gotten both of those right in the same sentence?
Off like first time, probably never. Probably never. Yeah, eventually I drill it into them, but yeah, no, eventually. No, I got a knack for finding tough pronunciations, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so your mix, you have the big fastball, the slider, all that kind of thing. So take us to where your mix is at right now and where it's headed in the future.
Sure. So obviously we got the fastball, kind of ride run, normal. The curveball has been kind of the first secondary, the primary secondary, because it's platoon neutral. I can flip it into both sides, and that was something that we put an extra emphasis on once I got to high A. It was like, hey man, like we got to be able to zone this pitch. We have to have, as good as the fastball is, we have to have something else to lean on so guys can't, because as you rise through the ranks, it's going to get harder and harder to just lean on one pitch.
Of course.
Yeah, and then the slider is around 90. It's just kind of a little bullet. It's just one of those ones where I'm kind of bridging the fastball and the curveball. And this year, I think we didn't use it as much as I think we will going forward. I think that's a big thing for this upcoming year is finding more opportunities to use it, whether it's like behind in count, early in count, to guys who are more vertical or whatever. So yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things. Messed with the idea of a splitter. I mean, I'll probably continue to mess with it. I don't know if it'll ever come to fruition, but maybe something like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, those are the main three.
Yeah. So you mentioned your 3 pitches there, and so did you have any go-to sequencing, or was it, did you try a little bit of everything, or how did that go for you?
Sure. I think that a lot of, like, if I, especially to a lefty, say I get just a vertical bat lefty or a flat bat lefty, I'm going to go curveball. If I land it, another curveball, and then we're going to go fastball at the top. And that's kind of the bread and butter. If I can land 2 of these and make the hitter question whether or not they're going to get, like, it's pretty beneficial for me. So something like that is definitely one of my favorite ones to throw, because then you get the 0-2 fastball and you kind of get the ego heater it at the top, and and see what you can do. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites.
All right, let's get real here. You had 9 scoreless outings to start your season, so that had to be cool. Talk about that, and then you kind of hit a little bit of a wall there for a couple of months, and then recovered from that. So kind of take us through those emotions and maybe the differences between the 9 scoreless and then the next 2 months that weren't as perfect.
Sure. So I go back out to Rancho. I had been out there the year before, and so there's definitely some comfort in that, knowing that I've already been there, knowing the people.
And it's warm.
Yeah, and it's warm, exactly. so yeah, I went out there and it started well. Couldn't have asked for a better start. It was also awesome to a lot of the team were new drafts guys or younger Latin dudes that hadn't been to Rancho before, didn't have much time at affiliate. So it was cool to be the older guy in that sense, the guy with a little bit more experience in those moments, and I think that only helped me be more confident in what I was doing and what I had going on. So yeah, obviously it was great. Get promoted to high A, and you're right. Yeah, I hit a little bit of a wall. I think it was a kind of a mix of, all right, physically we need to do a couple different things, like I said, with the landing secondaries more often. But also kind of like the mental hurdle of being like, oh, okay, like I did it at high A, but like, can I do it here, or at low A, but can I do it here? And so kind of, battling a couple of those things. But like we talked about, success isn't linear. So
sure.
it's always going to be peaks and valleys and plateaus. It's never just going to be like this. So being able to kind of roll with the punches and recognize that, yeah, like this stinks in the moment. Like I don't want to be failing, but at the end of the day, my goal is to reach the major leagues and make an impact up there, and recognizing that this is only shaping me into the pitcher I want to become one day, rather than, yeah, this stinks right now. Because it is easy to like fall into that trap. So continuing to work, continuing to mess with new ideas, talk to Coyne, talk to Dominguez, and see what they think, get their input, and even the roving instructors and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So eventually we kind of figured out a plan for me, and then went right back to work, and it finished the season strong. So I was super happy with that.
You bought a new pair of boots lately?
No, I haven't. That's actually funny. I got mine out the other day, and I was like, wow, I need.
Yeah, are they Gators?
I need to get some new ones. Yeah.
Gator skin? Is that what they are?
What's up?
Are they gator skin? Is that what they are?
No, I have standard ones. I want some ostrich ones.
Ostrich, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, those are sick. Yeah.
Yeah, I need some of they are. You got the flat toe, or are you going with the pointed toe?
Flat toe, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so 75 strikeouts, 44 innings. So, I mean, gosh, the strikeout stuff is absolutely incredible. So, from a philosophical perspective, it takes more effort. There's more margin. There's less margin for error because you have to throw more pitches, which means you're also probably going to walk more people if you go for the strikeout. So, philosophically, are you literally just trying to execute every pitch and it just leads to strikeouts, or are you out there going, you know what, I'm going to strike this dude out?
I think that it's a little bit of both. I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm trying to go out there and get outs. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to put it in the zone. And if a guy puts one in play, second pitch, then like, that's awesome. I'm not going to be upset about it. But at the same time, if I get to 2 strikes and I have the opportunity to punch a guy out, I'm going to do my damnedest to get that done. So yeah, I would argue it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah. So does it get frustrating for you because your stuff is so electric that they never actually do put it in place? So you actually have to throw 6 or 7 pitches to every hitter. Do you sometimes go, you know what? I wish sometimes they would just hit a ground ball to second base.
Yeah, I think there's pros and cons to anything that you can do. But yeah, I mean, obviously that can be frustrating at times, but at the same time, it's motivating to be like, okay, well, if I can just pound 3 in there, then we don't have to throw the extra pitches, and I'm still doing what I want to do. So it's just I try to use it as motivation.
Yeah, dude, the perspective is spot on, man. Spot on. You've learned a lot in your pro career, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, a lot of lumps. But yeah. Trying to just I've got a mental guy I work with as well who kind of keeps me in check and is like, hey man, like
I can tell.
This is so it's something that I really lean on, and I think is super important for my development. So I'm super proud of the mental aspect of where I'm at.
There's a lot of alpha male to hitting 100 and striking out 77 in 45 innings, though. So do you let yourself ride that adrenaline like, yeah, man, I'm just going to dominate this dude? I mean, do you allow yourself to ride that adrenaline, or do you try to stay even keel while you're in a game?
So I've all kind of done both. I've messed with both and experimented to kind of see what fits me. And in college, I was a big like, all right, I'm gonna kill this guy, whatever. And it worked then. But playing as often as we do, I find it kind of hard to. I don't really think that's who I am. That's not my personality. So going out there every couple of nights and kind of trying to manufacture that has been tough for me. So this year, I definitely tried to lean more into who I am as a person and kind of have a little bit more fun out there and smile when I'm enjoying what I'm doing and stuff. So yeah, I definitely think there's still some of that, like when I'm in like one of those back against the wall situations, like I'm gonna that dog's gonna come out. But kind of finding the balance of where exactly I fit into that spectrum.
Yeah. So, whenever you throw 100 and you have the electric stuff you do, intimidation can be a part of, especially when you throw the back end and you're throwing the most important innings of the game a lot of times. So how do you try to introduce the intimidation factor without really kind of standing out to the other team to where maybe they make a target out of you?
Sure. I think that sometimes I do it not really on purpose.
Yes,
sometimes,
correct.
Because sometimes I have misses where it's like it's a big arm, up and arm side miss, and it's like
you're hitting the mascot.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, all right, well, I didn't mean to do that, but like now that I have done it, I'm going to try to spin it to use it as my advantage. So yeah, there's not a ton of like, all right, I'm going to Pedro Martinez burn this guy up and in, but if I do happen to do it on accident, then so be it. We can work with that.
Okay, fantastic. I've asked you a lot of hard-hitting questions here, Alex. I appreciate all your honest answers here, man. You're doing a great job. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So let's finish the business questions here. Then let's take a load off and ask some fun questions. So the things that you feel like you're leaving this last season, heading into next season, doing the best, like, hey, if I continue to do that, I can be a consistent major leaguer. What things do you think you need to work on the most?
Like I kind of discussed earlier, I think it's landing the secondaries early and often, and then just putting it in the box. It's simple, but it's hard at times. But yeah, I think those are the biggest things for me. Obviously, stuff wise, I know that I have what it takes to impact a big league roster, and it's just going to come down to how quickly I can kind of hone that execution piece to match. So those are my biggest things. We're going to keep pounding away at the 9 pocket this offseason and heading back into spring training and stuff. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the main goal.
All right, let's take a load off and ask even harder questions. You ready for some fun questions?
Ready.
Okay, you spent some time in your childhood in Southern California. You went to high school in the DFW area. Matter of fact, you went to the same high school as Max Muncy there at Keller, correct?
Yes,
Coach
sir.
Stramp, yeah. Okay, so I got to ask you, which area has the funner things to do, Southern California or the DFW?
I think I have to go with Southern California, simply because you got to think, you got Disneyland, you got California Adventure, you got you got the beach, you've got Dodgers games. DFW is awesome. It's great. I loved growing up there. I love all my friends there. But I think that Southern Cal is definitely more of a hotbed for fun activities.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what is the weirdest superstition you have in terms of your pitching?
I'm not a huge superstition guy. I developed this at the back half of this season, where once everyone had gone out to the field, I would stay in the clubhouse for an extra few seconds, and I put my AirPods in and I'd blare a song and just get it stuck in my head, so that as I was walking out, I'm singing this song and I'm the vibes are up and I'm feeling good. So that was probably my newest superstition that I'm taking part in now.
If you need a good rhythm, listen to "Staying Alive" from the Bee Gees, man. That'll keep your body in the perfect. I'm serious. It'll keep your bodies in the perfect rhythm. It's crazy that way.
Awesome. I'll mix that into the playlist. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned it, blaring your AirPods. Yeah, no, actually, I don't suggest playing the Bee Gees in a clubhouse in baseball. I would not suggest that. I'm setting you up for failure there, Alex. On a serious note, though, well, kind of serious. Okay, you mentioned the music type of deal. So if you're forced to sing karaoke in the clubhouse, what's going to be the go-to here? What are we singing?
Yeah, I think I'm going Unwritten, Natasha Bedingfield.
Oh, really?
Great song.
Are we going to be able to rock it, or is it going to be one of those typical karaoke we're not even trying deals?
Oh no, I'm getting after it. I'm giving it my full 100% if I'm gonna take part in it. But yeah, Unwritten. It's been my number one karaoke song for the last couple of years. So yeah.
So you're gonna have somebody record it so you can listen to it back?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to, right?
Okay.
To improve, I gotta work on it. So
absolutely. Hey, we talked about the intimidation, the alpha male to being able to throw 100 back into games. What's the best pitch you've ever thrown where you threw it and you went, yeah, man, that was pretty badass right there?
Yeah. So this year we were playing in West Michigan. It was a tight game. It was July 3rd, and I come in and punch a couple guys. There's a guy on. I think it was 7th or 8th, and Kevin McGonigal walks up, and I mean that guy's the truth.
Oh yeah,
Kevin McGonigal is a very good baseball player.
Yes.
And I get him. I think we're like 2-2, foul ball, ball, foul ball. Like we're on like the 10th or 11th pitch, and I throw a fastball that starts at the knee and kind of just runs right in and catches the inside corner and freezes him. And I was like, I think it was 99, and I was like, yeah, man, that was pretty sick. It's on the inning. Yeah, so that's probably one of the best pitches I've ever thrown.
Yeah, you're a very analytical young man, which is good. And then sometimes you got to calm that down, which we've talked about on this show. So I ask you that. I say that to ask you this question: who inspires you the most outside of sports, and why?
I would have to say that my dad is my biggest inspiration outside of sports. He's always been, me and him we could be twins if we were the same age. We act extremely similarly. We think the same. So it's always easy for me to go to him and be like, hey man, this is what I'm dealing with. What do you think? Because he has my kind of thought process, but the extra years of wisdom. So, and growing up, like your dad's your hero. So
of course
he's probably number one inspiration, but yeah, love my dad.
Yeah, absolutely. I did not put this one on the question log. Last question for me. I think you can handle it though. Is there a closer or a back end pitcher that's a power pitcher like you that you've looked up to growing up?
Yeah. So growing up, I loved Neftali Feliz. When he was with the Rangers, he was coming up. I remember he was one of the first guys I saw throw 100 in person, and I was like, man, that is sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was always, and his career kind of, I'm sure didn't pan out the way it hoped, but I always loved watching him. I thought he was the man. So yeah.
I lied. One last real quick question here: Globe Life Field or Ballpark in Arlington? Which one's better?
Globe Life.
Really?
As many games as I went to in Arlington. Yeah. I mean, if you sat out on that left field porch in the middle of July, it was 115.
It was.
Globe. As much as a sentimental guy I am, Globe Life with the AC it's levels above.
So how many times did you sit in right field during BP and catch home run balls?
Oh, it's funny actually. There was a game where me and my dad went. And we went early to catch BP, and Josh Hamilton threw up a batting practice ball to me in left field. Yeah, over the wall. So that's one of my cool baseball memories from my childhood. But yeah, plenty of times we went there. We caught so many games there. So yeah, a lot of good memories at the ballpark in Arlington.
Yeah, and the Rangers were always really good up until about July. Then it got to be 180 degrees, and they sucked for the rest of the season because it was way too damn hot.
Yeah, okay. You couldn't make it happen. Yep.
Alex Makarewich, what a joy this has been. It's always a lot of fun to get to catch up with you. What a wonderful season you had last year. What an incredible future you have ahead of you. So thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Casey. I always enjoy being here, and I look forward to the next.